And hey there, YouTube. This is Thomas Judge, and I've just finished watching the 22nd movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe in 22 days, which means I spent the last 3 hours going through the emotional experience that is Endgame. What can I say? It's weird to get to the end of this series of movies now, and although I've seen Endgame before, although I knew what to expect, I have to say this film is just incredible. I'm not going to go through it beat by beat. In fact, I'm not really going to go through it overall. This is, surprisingly enough, going to be one of my shortest videos. Just because all I can say is Endgame is brilliant. It's fantastic, and it's a perfect climax to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The tone, the acting, the action, the music, my god, the music, all of it is just so good. And I'm not saying it's perfect. I just want to make that clear. It's not perfect. If I wanted to pull threads, of course there are things that I would quibble about or I would say should be done differently. I would point out things like the Hulk and the fact that he's been devolved to essentially comic relief at this stage, which is simply something that the Hulk should never be treated as. Thor, potentially, but Hulk, no. The Hulk should always be the horrific, menacing monster we saw in Incredible Hulk. I've also got questions regarding what happens with Scarlet Witch and her interactions with Hawkeye, or even her interactions with Hulk himself. And of course, I could pull threads, as I mentioned before, about the use of the PIM technology and Doctor Strange's portal technology and so on. And in fact, you can go online and you can find hundreds of websites with dozens of threads and flaws and inconsistencies and complaints about Endgame. But I'm not going to do that here. See, the thing is, Endgame isn't a film in and of itself. Endgame is the capstone to a cinematic universe, and I think it can be very tempting for a lot of film reviewers to view it as a movie because that's what their job is. And there's never been a precedent in cinema for anything like this. There's never been a 22 movie combined singular universe. I'm not talking about things like Star Trek or Star Wars that have had a dozen films to their name. I'm talking about a 22 movie singular universe that's never been rebooted. Consistent actors, consistent everything. And in that sense, what Kevin Feige made here is really a house of cards. And as that house of cards was built up layer by layer, foundation upon foundation, you had different things that get switched out and different things you could quibble about for each individual card. By the time you're getting towards the end game, by the time you're getting towards literally end game, and the movie right at the top of the pyramid, if you were to pull out, and if I was to quibble about any of the threads in this movie, it would involve pulling out some of the other threads in the other movies. Maybe the tone of the Dark World, or maybe some of the villains in one of the Iron Man movies or something. And to quibble any of those threads means quibbling the foundations. It basically means the whole Tower of Cards comes tumbling down. And so I'm not going to do that. Could things have changed? Could things have been done that I would have preferred? Yeah, of course. But unless anyone's interested, I'm not going to go through that. I'm not going to rebuild the whole cinematic universe to fit what I would like. What I would say is Endgame was amazing. And it was an amazing, once-in-a-lifetime experience that I've never seen before, and I will no doubt probably never see again. It was great. Watching it in this way was fantastic. And as far as I'm concerned, this is the perfect tone and moment and way to end this phenomenal arc of movies. One thing I will highlight, one scene I do want to point out, is this ended in the perfect way. Back in 1945, where Steve Rogers meets Peggy Carter again, and it was just the most beautiful, poignant, emotional ending, and had that beautiful amount of circularity that all true heroic legends and myths have. It was great. This film was great. The MCU as a whole was great. Yes, it has flaws. And yeah, maybe at some point I'll do a YouTube video sort of dissecting those flaws and talking about things that could have been done differently and things that could have been done better. But for this movie, I don't feel I have the right to criticise what is such a staggering and astonishing achievement. It made me laugh, it made me cry, it hit me right in the feels. This movie is awesome and highly recommended. That's all I want to say, guys. This was great. And I'm going to take a break from YouTube for a few days now, and then I'll probably come back in with something new and something different. Again, if you've got any ideas for what you'd like to see, please let me know in the comments below. I'm going to be stuck in quarantine for another 6 to 9 weeks, is what it looks like. 3 weeks definitely from the government's point of view, but no real hope of the quarantine and lockdown ending anytime before then. So, yeah, let me know. Thanks so much for watching the series, guys. As always, please like, please comment, please subscribe. I really appreciate the people that have stuck with me throughout the whole thing. I appreciate this is a cinematic universe which has been dissected to death, so I really do appreciate your support. And as always, guys, until next time, stay classy.